Okay, let's go. Scarlet Coast. We still have no research going. Yeah, we hope it's gonna become better soon with the talking. Kind of really annoying that it actually still is such an issue. Yeah, right. So the DLSS performance, I think looks really good on a 4K display. It's roughly comparable to quality at a 1040, 1044p display. Yeah, and today we're really gonna try to play the game, right? We're gonna try to advance here. So what is the game about? Since we already played the prior early access version, which then was, I actually don't know. Right, so I already played the prior early access version, and it basically was like a roguelite FPS with the big difference that the map is not procedurally generated, and you have different maps too. And it also has the vibes of a little bit of an extraction shooter, and the core strength of the game definitely was that just the core gameplay is fun, right? Just fighting is really, really fun. And you know, the gunplay is really satisfying and stuff like that. So it really, really is a fun game. I just have to double check. Since I did so many settings yesterday. Sorry. We're almost there yet. Yeah, the game doesn't really like alt tab too much. Oh, didn't I write it down? Oh, I should do that. Okay, one last check here. Yeah, I really can't tap well when the game is open, unfortunately. Yeah, I really have to talk a little bit less today. I do notice my voice is kind of fucked from yesterday. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's go. Sorry for the initial delay. Yeah, and now we're just gonna try to enjoy the game. I can't really talk too much about the changes on a detail level, right? Since I didn't play for quite a while, so I don't have a direct comparison between this and the other version. But I can always point out when stuff is like really new. For example, here, can easily see that the enemy type is new, right? So that definitely changed. I really hope they optimize performance in this second area, which we'll see a bit later. Yeah, this is like the roguelite progression, which resets after every single expedition, basically. And yeah, what is the goal of the game? Yeah, you have to basically get Witchfire to increase your stats and become stronger, and then you can defeat like the boss enemies. And every area seems to have a boss that you can defeat to extract. So there are multiple ways. Show it on the map. Yeah, you have like portals which you can go back into. Yeah, this is basically the portal we came in we joined the world by. We can go back into it, but it's like a limited time, so it will close and then you can't go back in. Then you have to go to this portal. And then also you can defeat the enemy here to go back, and then also there are like different difficulty levels here. You can see this is like a dangerous area, you know, dangerous, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and there are different enemy types and stuff like that. So you can basically see the points of interest here. And you can also see if you already cleared them. Clearing them gives you additional Witchfire, and also I don't think there is an XP system. I think every time you clear an area you get the additional grade, but I am not 100% sure. Yeah, also the game obviously has like different ammo types and stuff like that. At the moment we're like the deprived class in a Souls game. We start with one basic pistol, nothing else. And the pistol basically also has I can show it. It has, you unlock basically first mysteries basically. And the first mysterium is well, it's like a passive bonus for the weapon, right? Or an active, I don't know what it is. And here every time we crit an enemy, so by a headshot or whatever the weakness may be, and then we reload. For every bullet that hit crit, we get an additional charged bullet that does additional damage. You can tell that we have a charged bullet by looking at the weapon. You can see they're glowing blue. That means they have they do additional damage. I'm sorry that I can't talk that well. My main advice basically for new players is, because a lot of people do struggle with the difficulty of the game, and I don't know if the game is still difficult, right? I don't know. So I hope it still is difficult as it was, because it was really fun, because it was a real challenge at the start, and later on, as you get the hang of it, you can really like, you know, own the enemies. While it's still, the game is challenging, but you do feel like it's like very, very rewarding to get good at the game. My main advice is basically look at the weapons, and there's one stat which is incredibly unintuitive, and that is the ADS range. That's basically the range when the game starts to have massive drop off. At least in the early access version. We can test it right now if you want to. It's like if you're in range, you do a fuck ton of damage. If you're out of range, you don't do a lot of damage, and the range is really small. 21 meters is not that far. So I can demonstrate it by shooting at an enemy. It's an ammo crate. Yeah, so for example, let's see this enemy here, right? He has ammo. I think that's what the indicator is. He will drop ammo. I shoot at him like this. I do 41 damage, right? Which is not nothing, right? But let's shoot at someone that's further away, right? 6 damage. Yeah, right? 6 damage. And if we're close, you can see we deal like I guess 40 is the normal damage value, 69 is the crit value. Yeah, it's hard to demonstrate here because I'm getting used to the game starting speaking, but in general, what you're gonna see is that... Oh, we should maybe have manually reloaded here. Yeah, what you can see basically, 43s are base damage without an enhanced weapon. As soon as we get too far away, like 43, bam, 4, right? 15. And you can tell, right, it's like a really, really strict damage drop-off. The game, unfortunately, in my opinion, like you can tell, right, the damage here is a really good demonstration, this guy. Too far away. You can tell 17 damage, right? It's not super, super omega strict, like it's instant, but it has a very quick drop-off, and also the minimum drop-off, the minimum damage is insanely low. It's not like in other games where like it's capped at a 40% or something. I do think that's highly unintuitive, but it does add a lot of balancing potential and a lot of skill to the game, because you do have to respect your weapon range much more, right? But it is still, my main advice is don't go too far away, because if you start the game with a lot of guns, you're gonna just be further away, and you're gonna do no damage at all and waste all of your ammo. Also, the game unfortunately doesn't tell you, I think, how melee works. Melee, or do this. We're not gonna freeze them, so I'm just gonna take this one. Elixirs are healing potions. Yeah, basically on the bottom left you can see this raised fist icon. I'll show it here, it's here roughly. This raised fist icon, as soon as you do a melee attack, you can see it, right? We have this cool shockwave here. And if this shockwave hits an enemy, it will do massive amount of damage, and you can also dash to the enemy. But the downside is basically that once you hit the enemy, you have a cooldown. And cooldowns in this game work by, as far as I know, it's based upon killing enemies. We can revisit the tutorial where they say what it is exactly, but also your melee basically has a reload. So you might be confused why you do a lot of damage with it, and suddenly you're like, oh, I don't do any damage, right? Yeah, so I'm basically gonna try to demonstrate it as soon as possible. Yeah, also my display got the new firmware update, and I'm kind of interested in if it actually did change anything. Moment. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry that today I'm really can't speak, man. Really annoying, to be honest. It's gonna get better soon, man. That fucking sucks. Yeah, otherwise if I don't speak, I don't really notice it too much. Oh, they do explode. I was kind of curious about that. Yeah, and you should also probably shouldn't reload this weapon too much, since you do want to keep the stronger bullets, but then again you might also want to have full ammo. So yeah, there is nothing here, right? So we know there's nothing here, and this is an ammo chest, and this is the boss. You can also put a waypoint here on the map. I actually don't know if you can change the keybind for that. Yeah, it's a territory action. Is F, which is fine, right? Yeah, so you could also put a waypoint here, but usually you don't really need to be too concerned about the map unless you're looking for the portal leave. And these plants here, I think, are used for healing potions. They're really important, and you should always pick them up. Between runs, you can craft new healing potions, and later on, you're also gonna be able to bring way more with you. Yeah. And I really should stop talking that much, because I need to rest a little bit. Yeah, so here, if we drop in here, we would fight the boss. So basically this area I do know. I have a very high level character with a lot of unlocks. But for the update, we made a new one, right? And we chose the basically the same class. And I think the classes are a result of Dark Souls difficulty curve. Because the base class now is comparable to what what the original the Deprived class is basically the original only class that was in the game, and people found it a bit difficult to get into the game from a difficulty perspective. And yeah, basically they kind of nerfed the start of the game by giving you more tools basically to fight enemies, and you don't have to start at such a low level, right? So it's basically like a bit of an improvement. Also in the game, you have dashes, right, like this. Right, nice demonstration. I just dashed into the attack. Yeah, you have dashes. I don't know if you have iframes actually, but they do consume stamina. And when you kill enemies, like this, for example, you gain more stamina, right? Every time you... I know it's actually based off on killing the enemies. And we do have to revisit the tutorial to check that. But every time you kill enemies, you get more maximum stamina, and as soon as you get hit, it goes back. And as soon as the bar turns yellow, you can target the enemy's weaknesses. I don't know why you don't automatically connect ammo. Yeah, you can target the enemy weaknesses, and then you... Yeah, now it's yellow. And yeah, you have basically more stamina available too. So when you dash, try to show it. When you dash, well, I think it's while targeting, right? You can see the weakness, and then you can stun the enemy by shooting it. Since we got hit, we can't do it anymore. Yeah, I don't remember how the enemies target you, if you have to like counter strafe, if they predict where you go, or if they target your last position. I think they predict it, and you do have to manually dodge them. We got ambushed here. Yeah, and the game feels really, really good to play, so it's like very, very good gunplay. It seriously feels good to fight in it. Yeah, okay, very nice. This is an exit portal, we don't want to use that. And ammo is really important. They seem to have increased the amount of ammo drop by an insane amount. Yeah, like the amount of ammo you do find here is way more. So one of the core issues in the original was ammo, the ammo availability, and it did lead to a way more challenging experience, I guess. But it also was kind of annoying, to be honest, since some weapons were way more efficient than other ones. Kind of got really, really difficult to manage ammo at times, even if you didn't miss a shot. So I do kind of appreciate them changing it around this time. Yeah, yeah, blood transfer I think could be good, since our main problem at the moment is that we don't have a lot of healing elixirs. Okay, our ammo is full, so the game will tell you when it's full. I actually don't know if there is an auto-collect. Not a lot of game options. Gameplay, right? Is there an option to automatically pick up the items? I don't think so. Yeah, so even it is rather expensive for a smaller title with 35, I think, euros in Germany. But basically what I think is, you know, is the game worth the money, right? Is it fun, right? You could argue that Stardew Valley, for example, is pretty expensive for a one-man project, right? So I don't really judge the size of the project that much. I judge the value proposition you get. And that doesn't mean that the person who made the game or the people who made the game have to put in an amazing, you know, an insane amount of work or something. They just have to create something that's worth the money, no matter how much work they put in. In my opinion, the price is not as relevant as what you get, right? You pay for what you get and not really for the work put in. If someone is really efficient and can make the same game in the half amount of the time and with half the people, I still think the game is worth the same amount of money, right? Me personally. Yeah, so we're fighting here. The enemies are very strong, right? So they can kill us easily here if we don't dodge a lot of shots. I I am thinking about leaving, right? Because you do lose your souls. That's like, it's also a bit soulsy, right? It has souls-like stuff like stamina management. Yeah, this is the melee attack, which is really good, but now we have the cooldown on the button, as you can see it. Yeah, it is very, very soulsy in some ways, and also when you die, you drop your Witchfire and you can get it back, but you only have one shot at that, so it's like in Souls. Only that here actually the Witchfire kind of feels more meaningful because you're not gonna just get an infinitely greater amount later on in the game, right? Witchfire is basically a bit more linear when it comes to how the currency is distributed. You might wonder, isn't it kind of hard to... I think you have to aim. No, you don't have to aim. Right here you can see we just stunned him. I don't think we have to aim to see their weaknesses. I don't know where we can see their weakness right now, to be honest. I actually don't know. Yeah, you can see it from time to time. We're gonna die here if we don't run away. Yeah, so I'm basically trying to juke them a little bit. Especially I'm trying to get back to the portal, right? Since I know I'm gonna die here, so, and I don't want to lose 10k. What I'm gonna do here is wait 20 seconds to get the portal up and running. We might die, right? Since I'm AFK. Oh, we have a elixir. I don't know how much it heals. If it heals a lot, we can actually continue. I think we can continue to fight. Honestly, fine. Yeah. So the game was criticized for being very difficult. I have no idea if it's easier now, right? Because actually I played the game so much that I do think I still have some skill left, right? And in general, I do think the game was challenging, but it was fair, right? I never thought it was like really difficult or anything. It was just like a good challenge, right? But the thing is, I'm also I think significantly above average when it comes to FPS, so it doesn't really it doesn't really matter, right, if it's easy or not for me. So I do think the game will be quite challenging for a lot of people. I don't know if it's still like that, right? I really can't compare it to the old version, but I would assume a lot of people will still think it's challenging. One of the main reasons why it was challenging, and you can't see that yet basically, is also because the game has a really interesting difficulty progression. It doesn't tell you when it gets harder, right? But it does get harder when you level. I think it was just basically tied to leveling, but... yeah, so you can also get increased weapon damage and stuff like that, and you can use feathers to unlock additional shit. I don't know if you need to find them in the level, so all the details basically a bit more hazy, and they might also have changed. And yeah, the game and the devs basically took an interesting approach. They said, hey, we're not going to update the game just bit by bit. We're going to do bigger, significant upgrades with the game. So they basically went for a way more, normal approach, which is not that... I mean, it's more normal in the common sense that they're just developing the game, not pushing early access at every opportunity. This guy's really annoying. Yes, you can tell we're definitely getting pushed by the enemy here. It is quite risky to go in now, right? We have 12k. But I'm kind of greedy. And you might be wondering, does the game have, I mean, if you're watching, right, does it have crits? How accurate is the gunplay? Is it like super, casual, whatever? Is it like Gunfire Reborn? Is it like, right? How does it feel? And honestly, I think it's among the best, right, in the genre. Not even in the roguelite genre, but in the FPS genre, right? It just feels really fun to do. That doesn't mean it's like super accurate. I have no idea how big the hitboxes actually are. I mean, you can see I can miss them easily, so probably the hitboxes are not that big, right? But they're big enough for you not to be annoyed by the game. Yeah, calamities are powerful. The Witchfire vortex is called the Catalyst. It drains your sanity. Beat the calamity quickly, or find and destroy the vortex, or just get the fuck out, right? What we're gonna do. Yeah, I hope we're not gonna get pushed here. Yeah, and the reason why the portal obviously doesn't open instantly is to if you're being hunted, which we aren't currently, I think. I mean, we are, but not by strong enemies. So you just can't just run away. And they also already patched the game again today. I have no idea what they fixed actually. So yeah, we got a lot of crystals. We got a lot of Witchfire, a little bit of treasure, and I'm just gonna go back and show you the tutorial so you can quickly see the mechanics demonstrated there, because I also don't remember the exact detail in the wording and it might actually become relevant. Yeah, okay, this is the tutorial. You just have to walk into this thing here. Here it just like tells you about all the default stuff. It tells you about stamina, and the thing about stamina is as soon as you don't have stamina, you take a fuck ton of damage. But yeah, when you jump a lot, right, you're going to become exhausted, then everything becomes blurry, and I do think you take more damage, right? So you never actually want to get attacked too much. And yeah, and getting wounded costs also stamina, right? So getting hit also will at some point cause dizziness and slow you down, which is why you can sprint in the game like this, right? You can sprint, but I usually don't sprint a lot unless I really need to get from A to B. Because I do think dashing is actually often safer, because I mean conserving stamina is usually safer. You don't want to go around in fights and be permanently running, right? If you do this all the time, you're gonna run out of stamina really quick, right? It's gonna be then when you jump too, right? It's just gonna be permanently running is not the greatest idea in the game, to be honest. Yeah. And then also learning to deliberately dodge the arrows was really important, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Okay, so I kind of fucked up the tutorial. Wait. Okay, so that's stamina. Then you also have different weapons, since we only have one. We have one basically. Reload it, shoot, ADS, right? Yeah, I see that's how it works. We can try it out, right? Then you have, right here I can demonstrate the damage range, right? So the full damage here. Okay, we're gonna get double damage now, but okay, so that's 69, right? 69. 6. 6. Okay, so 6, basically 10%, roughly. 10% is the lower bound. Okay, so you can see, right? Just a little bit further. How quickly how quickly the damage, right, drops off, right? It's really quick. Right? It's really, really quick. So you do have to really stay in range for it to, I mean, it's not that. And maybe they nerfed it a little bit, because that was one of my criticisms. I think it was, I don't even know if it was just an on-off toggle back then. There was no range at all, right? Where it got less. In general, my piece of advice is definitely stay within damage range, right? You can tell like how shitty the damage is here, right? It's really, really bad. Killing enemies increases your maximum stamina, blah blah blah, with enough killing. Okay, with enough kills, you enter the focus state for a brief moment of a dashing. While looking at an enemy, you'll see their soul sigil. Yeah. Okay, so we can maximize it. Show you, and you can see a dash. I shoot this, and then he's stunned. You might say, oh, that's kind of stupid. You're just wasting a bullet here. But first of all, did you see how much damage we did, right? If I hit him like this, it does 69 damage. If I hit him stunned, like this, and then we hit him, that's 112, right? So they're weak, right? They're weak when they get hit, right? Yeah. Basically, stunning is good to deal a lot of damage, but also it's really, really important against enemies which are not just readily, you can't just shoot at, you'll see them later. And the difficulty spike will arise for us and also for other players, I guess, if they didn't change it once new enemy types come, right? And yeah, they're really fun to fight, but they're also kind of difficult to start. Every mistake you make, such as getting hurt by trigger trapping, uses the calamity bar. When it's full, the witch believes your confidence is at its lowest and she will cast calamity or most powerful curse. then you can try to find and destroy the catalyst, the giant witchfire, vortex, blah blah. We'll see that, right? Here we have spells. You can also charge the spells. You have the melee attack, right? This is the charged melee. Yeah, by damaging and killing enemies, right? Yeah. And as him in the Witchfire, or by finding volatile Witchfire in the world, right? And the thing is, right, if we shoot him here, right, you can tell, actually doesn't restore anything for whatever reason. Yeah, I guess because he doesn't drop Witchfire. Makes sense, right? So Witchfire is basically what recharges your abilities. You can reset them here. But yeah, it does 100 damage like this, and you also have this cool dash. You also have a cool dash, right? It's really cool. Actually don't know if the range, we can try it out, right? Dash from over here easily. Over here. Yeah, we can, right? So it is somewhere around here. It starts to dash, right? I don't think the dash is further, so it doesn't increase range in my opinion. Just, yeah. It does 100 like this, and it only does like 20 if it's not charged, so just bear in mind that might be the case. Right, and you can also heal if you want to, right? But I'm not going to heal because and yeah, it basically tells you also that you can manufacture elixirs nearby. Apothecary from the Angelica plant. Okay, that's basically the core gameplay mechanics, and yeah, it does take even though you might have understood them instantly, right, it still feels like you do have to get a bit into it. It has a very special feeling when playing the game, but a very good feeling. It's just like not as straightforward as you might think. Yeah, here we can brew the potions, right? We have a stash of up to 30. I'm not gonna heal. We're gonna be fine here. Up here we can level. Okay, we can level. The thing I'm gonna level first, obviously, is bonus Witchfire. So we get a bonus elixir thing, I guess. And yeah, here we're just gonna level this to get more Witchfire, right? It's basically because this enables us to level faster. I think it's kind of useful to get that first, and then the other ones, not the other way around. Obviously, you need to kill stuff to get Witchfire too, so getting stronger also can make it faster, right? Yeah, here you can see to unveil the second Mysterium. You need first Mysterium actions, basically the charged thing, enemies killed, and second Mysterium incantation. That's where this here comes into play. We're too stupid. If we're not stupid,